Stability, security, consistency. Those are three things that most families value for their children. But these are the very things that 5-year-old Kari Davis seems to be denied every 6 months or so. The last time her family uprooted her was to save her life. Terry Dorsey tonight brings us the latest chapter in Kari's story as we conclude this week's series, Four Families.
So far this year, we met Kari's family in a homeless shelter. We started following them at that point because we found out they came to town so Kari could have a life-threatening heart operation that's very risky for 5-year-olds, and that could be done here. We followed them through the surgery. She survived successfully. But then this summer, she was uprooted again. Crisis is common in Kari's life. At first, it was because of her heart condition, but an operation this spring helped restore her health and energy to that of a normal 5-year-old. This summer, Kari's parents caused the crisis in her life. And once again, she was uprooted just as she has been every 6 months in her life.
All this, everything's gone.
What was up here?
All this, everything is gone. She's got a few balloons left here. All of her toys, all of her clothes, everything.
Mike Dominguez came home last month and found his family left town. The closets and shelves were empty. The only thing his wife and child left behind was their picture.
It hurts me to think that she would leave and pull this. I mean, she took me to work this morning, you know. She says, hey, everything's fine. I come home and I find this.
Mike knew Suzanne was going to her mother's house in Texas for a couple of weeks, but when he saw the house was bare, he suspected Suzanne had left for good.
Man, I love her so much. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do, Terry. Give me a hand.
Mike has had some unforgettable memories of his family's life the last 6 months in Nashville. We have recorded many of them following the family all year.
You got to turn around the other way.
5-year-old Kari was the reason they came to Nashville. She was slowly dying with a heart defect. Doctors in Nashville had saved her life as a baby, so her family came here for medical help.
Oh, Brace has got it on about 425.
That'll be all right.
Okay.
So Kari's family spent the winter in a homeless shelter. They sold everything they had in Oklahoma to get here.
Any questions about anything right now?
In March, they went through one of the most traumatic experiences of their lives, waiting by Kari's hospital bed after she survived a life-threatening heart operation. Mike had planned to make Nashville a permanent home for his family. Before, they always moved every 6 months. Suzanne wanted to bring more stability to Kari's life now that she was starting school.
Find a place to sit down. We have a new girl in our place. We got a new boy yesterday. Now we have another new girl.
Kari's constant uprooting showed up her first day in kindergarten. She didn't know how to fit in because she'd never spent much time with other young children. You might remember our story.
Give it one at a time. Everybody can give it.
The other children weren't nearly as hard for Kari to deal with as kindergarten routines, like sitting still and waiting her turn.
Look, can you sit back up, please? No, we're not going to cut today. Not on that. Kari, come back over here. Come here. Stay with me for a minute. Just a minute. Kari. Kari, you need to sit all the way down. No, we can't go for our turn. In line the way we're supposed to go. Thank you.
Kari tried to fit in her first day with a lot of courage. There was the lesson of staying in line. She quickly learned her classmates took the rules seriously, and so should she.
Well, Anna, she's just learning the rules. You're going to have to help her.
But a few months later, Mike and Suzanne were arguing a lot, mainly about his drinking.
My personal habits are my personal habits. It's just what they are, personal habits. They did not interfere. To her, they did. Only because she chose to let them interfere.
Suzanne accused Mike of buying dope instead of paying bills. She told Mike she would leave him if he didn't stop drinking.
Yeah, she did. But I only do it during the weekends. I have drank a couple of beers today, yeah. Because of what I've been through today, yes, I have. I think I deserve it. Now, if I was willing to stick this out, why wasn't she? Why?
The next day, Mike heard from Suzanne. She said she was coming back to their home in Nashville. But Mike gave up their future here. He gave up the house and a good-paying job.
I'm basically doing again what we did before, giving up everything and going. Except now it's just a little bit different circumstances.
We found Mike at the Nashville bus station. He was headed toward Lubbock, Texas, where Suzanne and Kari were visiting relatives. He finally decided he did have a drinking problem. Something happened the night Suzanne told him she was coming back. He lost $300 celebrating with friends.
I was drinking. And I think the people that I was with, they went ahead and just let me drink as much as I want. That way I wouldn't remember if anything did happen. I really don't.
Mike said he was going to seek treatment for alcoholism once he reached Texas. That didn't happen. But Mike used the remedy he's used in the past. Get on a bus, move, and start over again. Which wasn't so bad when Kari wasn't school age, but now she is school age. She has to start in kindergarten again. We have some new video to show you how healthy Kari has gotten in the last few months. We were sent this video from Lubbock, Texas, where she's staying.
I just did that. Put my feet on the concrete. You want to see it again?
And I talked to her doctor today. Her doctor said that she has pretty much fully recovered. They had planned to do one more test to make sure her lungs were working the way they had intended, but health-wise, she's safe. Now the main concern is moving her around in school, because even her parents admit they'll probably have to move her a couple of times the first few months of this year.
It's really tough on kids.
Will they want to do some continued follow-up testing on her and so forth, on Kari, that she may not get now?
No, I think they'll take care of her medically. And we'll go down and we'll check on them this fall and let you know what's happening in her life.
We wish them the best. Thank you very much, Terry.